Today on CityCast Philly, this is the final episode of our summer entertainment guide, where we help you make sense of summer's overwhelming options for how to spend your days. In Philly, there is no shortage of unique experiences and events happening, but how many of them are free? It's Thursday, June 22nd. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. CityCast Philly producer Abby Fritz. Hey, Abby.
Hey, Trenae. What's up?
I love this episode because we are going to give y'all the free 99, yes. And we have tons of recommendations. You're going to love this episode. Abby, what's your first recommendation for our summer guide freebie list?
This is a great question, Trenae. You know, I love a free event. If it's free, it's like better. It tastes better. It's more fun. It's overall, I'm already having a better time if it's free. Right. And I think when I was thinking about the summer and like what I'm excited to do, you know, the first thing that came to mind was movies. I love movies. So I'd love to see if we can find some places to go, you know, check out free movies. Mm-hmm. And what I found, and I'm very excited to try these this year, is a couple places where you can catch some great free movies. The first one is at Circa Green in West Philly. They call it the Sunset Social Movie Nights. And they're Wednesdays, and they're playing a bunch of good stuff like Jurassic World, Top Gun Maverick, Indiana Jones, tons of stuff. And they keep telling you they're going to keep dropping more movies coming out as the summer continues. Have you ever been there? I haven't been to the place before, so.
I've never been to the movie social night, but Sierra Green is beautiful. You literally see all of the skyscrapers of downtown, and you're high up. It is amazing.
Oh, sounds like so much fun. And for free, yes.
Yes.
Another place we can see free movies this summer is all across the city through the Fairmount Park Conservancy. They're playing a bunch of different things like Encanto and Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It's kind of like you have to check, you know, your local park, whichever one you want to go to. It's going to be different days, different nights, different times. But if you really want to see something, check it out. You can find it. I bet you can find it.
I love that because it's like a scavenger hunt a little bit,
yes,
you know?
Yes. You got to work for it.
Yeah. Now, I love music, Abby, and this city has got such a great history and connection to music. So I found this really cool thing, and this happens at the Macy's downtown. If you're also into history, which I am, there are free daily recitals on the Wanamaker organ. Now, the Friends of the Wanamaker organ, they say this is the largest pipe organ in the world.
Whoa.
It's got like over 28,000 pipes. And so each recital is about 45 minutes in length, and it's held Monday through Saturday. I've never been to this event, and I really want to try it to go see.
That's wild. That's such like a random thing. I would have never expected to hear that.
Right.
From you. I love that.
Right. Now, for all the jazz lovers out there, Cedar Park Jazz Series 2023 is happening. So basically, you join Cedar Park neighbors on their series of Friday nights this summer from 6 to 8 p.m. You got to bring your lawn chair, though. Bring your blankets, bring your coolers, and they say, bring your dancing shoes.
Ooh,
so this is so much fun.
That's how you know it's going to be good, the dancing shoes.
Now, let's go down to South Philly. And I don't know if you remember this, but the Point Breeze Night Market had to be rescheduled because of that poor air quality that was caused by the Canadian wildfires. So now it's being held on Thursday, July 6th. And this is happening along the 1200 to 1400 blocks of Point Breeze Avenue. And so there's going to be a lot of food and vendors and music, of course. Now, it's free to just show up and, you know, catch the vibes of the community. But you can also, you know, support the local businesses down there. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of food trucks. So that part is not free, but the actual overall event is.
Yeah. Dancing's always free.
Yeah.
Or at least here. Okay, cool. Well, these recommendations are so fun. Honestly, a little romantic, I almost want to say. Like the night movies, going out dancing, you know what I mean? But do you have any recommendations for, where I can take my boo this summer? Any, date nights for free around here?
Oh, there's tons of stuff. And our city is so romantic. Remember that episode we had where, we're kind of Frenchy, we're romantic.
Yes.
So there are lots of places you can spend a date night on a budget. There is the Spruce Street Harbor, which is really great at night because they have these like string lights, but they're in different colors. They're like blues and greens. And if you're still down there, you're going to be around Penn's Landing. So that's also just like so romantic just to take a nice walk. You'll see the big Ferris wheel at the Delaware River Waterfront Carnival. You'll see some of those like boats at the pier. And that's just so romantic. Hold hands, get that nice breeze going.
Yeah.
Then there's also, if y'all are really into like the outdoors, y'all want to go for a hike, I would recommend Forbidden Drive. This place is just so beautiful in the springtime and also in the fall too. But for the summer, you're going to see the water. You're going to see the water. You're going to hear the water. It's so peaceful. And also, this is a really cute spot to take pictures.
Aw, cute.
Yeah. Now, speaking of love and, romance for the summer, you definitely have to do the traditional Love Park statue and also take a walk with your bae along the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. And y'all should definitely check out the Rocky Steps. I think this would be also like a great experience to see, like maybe you can race with each other to see who can make it to the top first without losing your breath. And then also if y'all are into, dancing and, moving your bodies, try salsa night at the Bach Bar. This is a free lesson with a DJ and there's a dance party afterwards.
That sounds like so much fun.
Abby, you've spent a full year living in Philly, right? And there's so many events. I wonder if you're new to Philly, how did you start getting involved and with all the offerings in the city?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I really leaned on like groups in the beginning, especially, like the free groups, the ones that you just join. I have a ton of groups that I still will bop in and out of. And especially in the summer, there's always so many things to do. Things that come to mind are like, I'm trying to get back into riding my bike. So there's tons of biking groups around the city. There's Wednesday night rides. It's like social bike riding group. They meet Wednesday night every 2 weeks and they just bike around the city. They're on Instagram. You can check in on them to see where they're meeting and where they're driving. There's also a group called Folks and Spokes, PHL. And this is specifically a biking group for women, trans, non-binary people in the greater Philadelphia area that want to go bike together and feel safe and support each other. It's also for like all different experience levels. So that's great too, because I'm not super familiar with riding in the city. So it's good for me in terms of that.
Yeah, what a great introduction also, because we have such a really big bike culture in this city. So this is a really great group.
Right? Totally. And there's so many. There's other biking groups. There's one I saw that like they bike to go camping. Like there's so many, like you can definitely look and find anything you're interested in terms of groups. I also love reading. So I immediately was looking for book clubs when I came to the city. I found a great one. It's the Philly Queer Book Club and it's put on by Philly AIDS. They meet at Giovanni's room and it's just different books relating to queer culture. The second week of every month they meet, they talk. It's great to meet people, to hang out, read books, and I'm looking for the free stuff. So I go check out the book at the library. I read it. I bring it back. I don't even have to buy the book.
Nice.
That's how you got to do it. But there's also other book clubs. I know there's one called A Book and a Beer. You read a book and then you guys go meet up and grab a beer and talk about the book.
Okay, this is really fun.
These are also fun. And oh my gosh, there's so many different groups always. If you're looking more for sober events though, there's tons of sober spaces you can go into. A really cute one that I found was called Philly Craft Circle. They meet at 5 p.m. on on Wednesdays in Clark Park, and you just like bring a little craft you're working on and you sit on like a little blanket together next to, like where all the people are playing chess, and you just hang out and you do your little craft and like talk and move on.
Yeah.
And even I think about, we talked to that Philly queer birding group a couple months ago. Yeah.
That episode. Yeah.
It was so much fun. And there's so many other birding groups in the city, like In Color Birding. It's just, if you're interested in anything, there is a group for it. There is billiards groups. There is running groups, walking groups. I even saw a group online the other day that was just like coffee outdoors. They just meet somewhere. I think it was in like Lemon Hill, and they just drink coffee on the weekend together.
Okay,
and I'm like,
I want to join that
so
one.
Cute, right? Right? It's so fun. So there's a million options. Those are kind of my highlights and my faves, but like definitely explore all of the different groups there are in Philly to join and meet people and do things you like.
Awesome. Now, some of these were outdoor experiences, but we gotta also talk about the indoor ones, right? Because it's summer and it's going to get hot. I love going to a museum because it's air conditioned. It's also great for the kids. That's educational, and museums are just really, really cool. Are there any museums that you like to go that are on a budget or free?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely some free museums out here. The first ones that come to mind is Barnes is free every first Sunday, which is great. Also, the Woodmere Museum is free on Sundays. That's in Chestnut Hill. But my personal favorite, and Trenae, I talk about this place all the time. You already know what I'm going to say. It's the Fabric Workshop and Museum in Center City.
Yeah.
It's the first place my partner ever took me to when I came to visit them in Philly. It's free. They suggest donating if it's possible for you. But I'm going to be honest, I don't always donate, but they do have cool events on the weekends that you can pay for. And usually I'll come out and support them in that way. You can do like screen printing classes. There's tons of crafts, a bunch of different textile arts. They also do tours of all the facilities. Super cool. It's just such an interesting museum. You always think of museums and you think of like paintings and all these things, but I love textile arts. I love the different ways that they've interpreted through this museum and workshop. And I just think it's great. It's go to like friend date vibe for sure.
Abby, you're a great ambassador.
I know. They should hire me.
Yes.
Put me on the payroll, please.
Yes, for sure. One of my favorite times of year is Wawa Free Museum Days, right? And this is happening this summer. They're going to be sponsoring 2 weeks of free admission to museums around the city until July 4th. So this is all a part of the Wawa Welcome America festivities. Today, the historic Rittenhouse Town, it's going to be free from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And so some of the other museums that I have never actually heard of that you can go during these 2 weeks, the Wick Historic House, Garden and Farm, they're free from 12 to 4. You can bring the family out to check Fireman's Hall Museum, Penn Museum, the National Constitution Center, which I love because they have that exhibit where you can be a Supreme Court justice. You can be the president of the United States. And also you can go over and see all the different types of constitutions from countries around the world.
So cool.
And then also they're offering free admission to the American Swedish Historical Museum, which is pretty cool. So it's not just American history. You learn a whole bunch of history. And so I definitely recommend you bring the kids out for that. They're going to be out of school anyway, so you might as well bring them out. And, you can check out the list of all of these free museums by going to our website, philly.citycast.fm. There's some other free museums that I've actually never been to, but I really want to go. They're free. Speaking of art, the Institute of Contemporary Art is free in University City. And the Science History Institute, which is located on 315 Chestnut Street, is a really cool spot. Now, Abby, I know you mentioned you love, joining your groups and being outside.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to actually do in Philly in the summer?
I love being outside. I am in the trees. I am running around in the grass. I want to frolic. That is always the goal for me. And I think the easiest outdoor free fun is always going to be going to parks, hitting trails, doing all of that. It's just always a good time.
Okay, do you have a favorite park in Philly?
Ooh, it's so hard. I'm still, like I said, new and I'm exploring, but definitely my go-to is the Wissahickon. It takes a second because I have to use public transit to get out there. But if you have a car, it's like, oh my God, like 15, 20 minutes, depending where you are in the city. And it's beautiful. There's like so many places you can go. There's so many different trails. I love looking at the water and I don't know if people are technically meant to do this, but everybody's already swimming out there. I went a couple weeks ago when it was warm and people are in that water, which that's their prerogative. I don't know if I do it, but
yeah, I don't know if I'll be in that water.
Good for them. Right. But it's beautiful. I'll watch all the ducks in it and all that. But also, we have an incredible access to a bunch of different parks with the Fairmount Park Conservancy, Fairmount Park itself. I'm also love going to FDR. That's wonderful. I mean, the Meadows is definitely changing and there's a lot of things going on out there, but I still go hang out. There's always dogs running around. Dogs like me. They just come up to me. So I always get to go play with dogs when I'm there.
Yeah, we can't forget the dogs. We can't forget our little canine friends and neighbors.
Totally.
And one of my favorite spots will have to be Schuylkill River Trail. I love seeing, folks outside. I love to people watch sometimes, go for my 2-mile walk. I like to walk behind the art museum steps. There's a hill that you can do if you really want to get some cardio. It's such a great spot. And also the Azalea Gardens there is really beautiful. Sometimes you see people meditating out there. So
cool.
I think it's just like a very peaceful atmosphere. And so I would definitely recommend that.
Oh, totally. I'll have to check that out too. I also just went to Bartram's Garden, so I have to mention it because it's beautiful. I had no idea. I didn't know what to expect because they say it's like a garden and there's like, a house there. Bartram's house is there. But I went and there's like so much space to walk around. Like there's little trees. I went with my friend and we found like some swings and like a rope in the tree. We're just messing around. And you can also walk along the Schuylkill at some point and people are like fishing. It's just fun and it's a great little place to explore. A bunch of my friends too have like birthday parties there and like people just go hang out. So another great spot if you just kind of want to poke around and explore and see what's out there,
Abby, you know what? When you said swing, it made me think of also the rail park in Callow Hill that have those like bench swings that you can like relax on. And that's also some great free stuff that you can do as well.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been having a lot of like pop-up parties and events there. So that's really, really fun.
Totally. They're always doing stuff there.
Okay. I also have to shout out, if you love the outdoors, Abby, I would recommend breaking out the roller skates. I love to skate and meet people at Paynes Park. So if I'm going down the Schuylkill River Trail, now it's a little, there's some hills out there. So I'll just like carry the skates with me, but, and then I'll put them on when I get to the park. Do you know of any other like spots and parks? I mean, we had that really awesome episode in the spring about some spots to skate. What other recommendations do you have?
Yes, we did that episode with Philly Quad Fund. They're awesome. And if you need skates, you can go to them and they will help you get skates. So you don't have to worry about paying to rent them. So first, that's great. But yeah, no, there's tons of spots in the city to skate. I also roller skate, I quad skate, and anytime there's a basketball court, you can skate there, especially if no one's on it or using it. But if you want some people who like are organizing events that you can go hang out with, I would totally recommend checking out Skate Shoddy. They are awesome. They do both skateboarding and roller skating, and it's like a group for like women, femme, non-binary people that want to go skate together. I also know Rolling with the Homos does a similar thing. A lot of the times these groups are meeting at Paynes Park. They're meeting at the FDR skate park. There's so many places in the city you can go, and that just goes back to groups as well. There's always people skating. There's such a strong skate culture here in Philly. So tons of spots, always a way to skate for free somewhere.
Abby, this is all good for our mental and physical health. Are there any wellness events that you could recommend us trying this summer?
Oh, totally. There's always some free wellness events going on. Some of the ones that I found that looked really fun Yoga on the Bank, which is on the Schuylkill Banks. It's a free class. They do, if you can donate, they do ask you to donate if it's possible so they can keep doing this. And then another awesome one I found out in FDR Park is Tai Chi for Beginners, which is so cool. So it's no pressure. They also, FDR Park has a whole Instagram post of like a ton of different events they're doing. Some of them are free, some of them aren't. You can check through and see what else is going on. And then also just the Fairmount Park Conservancy as well. A lot of their events are sliding scale events. So usually they start around like $5 to $10, and then you can go up to 20 as much as you're willing to donate. But every once in a while, there's some free events. So just keep it in the back of your head.
I'm like overwhelmed by all these events. I can't wait to try some of these.
Me too. It's going to be free girl summer,
That's Abby Fritz, producer of CityCast Philly. Abby, thank you so much for chatting with me about all of these freebies.
Thanks for having me, Trenae.
So you can check out the links to some of these events in our Hey Philly newsletter, or go to our website, philly.citycast.fm. And here's what else Philly's talking about. SEPTA swore in 21 new police officers to the force this week. According to 6ABC, this comes as the transit agency has dealt with an increase in crime. It's also reported that this class is historically large and will boost SEPTA's ranks by more than 10%. And Girls High alumni say they fully support the principal who denied graduates from receiving their diplomas after they danced across the stage during graduation. The Philadelphia Inquirer reports that the alumni group says they are, quote, open and available to work with the school community as they continue to examine and evolve our traditions. School district officials, though, have publicly disagreed with the principal's actions. That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode of free stuff to do in the city this summer, please tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter too. It's called Hey Philly. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Friday News Roundup. Bye.
Let's see if I can open this water bottle with one hand.